Greetings, sir and sirettes, and welcome back to Robocraft Build with me, Lathrix, the series in which I try to learn how to build by taking suggestions from the lovely commenters and, to my best ability, build the suggestions to your specifications. Now, in today's episode we have a bit of a weird one, as you may be able to tell from the title. I'm going to be attempting to build a vanity build, a build which is not exactly built for its effectiveness in any way, shape and or form, but instead is built more for its style, to be a certain shape of something famous or just of something interesting, like a dog, a cat, very often a pony, or in this case, the Arwing from Star Fox. Now, I must admit, I'm not too well versed with Star Fox. I've never really played many of the games, only one of them, I can't remember which one it was. Do a barrel roll and all that good stuff. So, if I am wrong with certain pronunciations with it, etc., then, well, I'm wrong with them. Oh well. So, the big thing is, I'm going to be using a reference photo for this, so I'll post a link to that in the description below, in case you don't know what exactly I'm trying to build, as I'm looking at it now. It also means I'm currently recording in 720 as opposed to 1080, as I currently don't have my second monitor functional. So right now, that is how we're going to do it. So, now I'm sure you've all had a look at the reference photo, I can actually start talking through it as I do it. So, with the Arwing then, it seems to have four major components. So, it has the two very pretty and interesting kind of divisions above and below the wings, which seem to be equal on both sides and quite high, about a 45 degree angle, which is quite good because Robocraft deals well at 45 degree angles away from the kind of center mass. The big center mass, which is going to be this, is connected to it via an additional section, it seems, because it's not like instantly the wings there. So if we were to use heavy cubes, right now I'm just making a very brief skeleton to get the basic idea of what the hell I'm actually doing. I'd like it to be too thick, really, ideally, so I'm going to make this a little bit bigger than I first was going to build it. So, anyway, this suggestion comes from Hellokittyhi, and the only specifications given were under 1250 pflops and tier 6 if possible, although it can be any tier. Although it can be any tier in regards to weaponry, etc. I really don't see us over-tiering this. Now, I would very much like to use the actual colours of the ship, which is mostly going to be prisms, so mostly tier 1 heavy prism cubes, and probably, is it more of a... you could almost argue it. I'd say some tier 9 in the shaded places, but mostly using the regular blue. I mean, actually, I'd say almost the TX would certainly fit it, but yeah, using the armored tetras for the two, let's call them connecting segments. So the mirror section would be above this. So even the one problem I do have is the wings go back, and that's an issue. Another problem is, of course, there's only two wings. Now, Robocraft does not handle two wings well at all. So I'm not sure how I'm going to get away with that, but we'll see as we go. If worst comes to worst, we could just add two rudders at the front. Not what I really want to do, but that could be how we do it. He also wants it to be a dogfighter, so we'll try and do that to the best of our capability. So this goes forward for a little while, very short while, before it actually has the windowed segment there, which obviously is where the seat's meant to be, and I'll actually put it there if possible. I'd say that like this, and then the windowed segment kind of comes out away from the rest. So we're going to want to deviate this slightly away from where we were rather. No, it'd have to be, no, it comes in, doesn't it? So it'd be more of the opposite way of what I was doing then. So something more along the lines of this. The problem with this is it doesn't give the right sharpness to this side. However, if it did this, now it does. Okay, so it's something like that, but I'll think one further in, and then the windowed section, then will go in the middle of that. So let's do that again, but this time one further inside. So something along the lines of, put that there just for a second, just so we can put... Actually, we could just do the prisms, couldn't we? That would probably work there as well. This does go in a bit faster than I really wanted, it must be said. but I think we could make it work still. So we need just put it there just for a second, just so we could get the prism block, put it there. Something like that, but not quite as sharp. Now that's going to be a bit of an issue, as it is Robocraft. I guess what we could do is actually start, yeah, where we was before, but that's more of the actual shape though. But saying that, there should be a bit more of a gap, honestly, since the windowed section doesn't instantly start where this actually ends. So perhaps it would be best if we just started a little bit further back instead. I'm not very good with vanity build zone threads, must be said, but that's the whole point of this this series, and that's kind of why I accepted this one. As not only is it a vanity build, it's quite an interesting vanity build. And once again, we just put these forward, just to put this in here. So these two, so only two little tetras, and then we put in the prism. There we go. Okay. Okay, actually that's not too bad. It definitely starts a bit too early though, so we may have to make the middle even bigger than it currently is, which is making me a little bit nervous, it must be said. As that point should have a, by the looks of it, have a tetra, honestly, as it doesn't, as it seems to almost jump out from the reference photo. So there's the corner there. Of course, you can't really do a 3D effect until we've added the rest. Honestly, that kind of sorts out anyway. So it does that, and it kind of jolts out anyways, and the attachment piece seems to be underneath here, so okay, that's fine to me. Then that's not directly inside. That's the big thing there we need to bear in mind. But it's not above it either, that's going to be too big. Ah, now that actually isn't too bad. However, it should be bigger at the end. That's the only problem I'd say with that now. So if we did this, that's a bit too high. I think that, honestly, is actually okay. Yeah, I'd say that's okay. Now, I don't know what happens to it at the back, so I'm going to assume it just kind of teepers out and then goes back like into the ship itself. So that's what I'm going to assume happens. Again, I could be very wrong with that. I'm not versed in this in the slightest, and that's where the seat can go. However, it can't because of the stupid extreme height. Even though it doesn't look, I do hate that, the fact the seat has this random gap here because of the pilots. Makes it very hard to build around. So that's kind of the idea, and yeah, okay, okay. Yeah, that's alright. But now, how the hell do we make this work? Because this is going to need to slowly come in, so I'm thinking every 2 it goes in 1, and just see how that goes until it does reach an actual point as well, so we have to be quite long, but it has to actually end together. Again, something to bear in mind. So that 1, 2, then that. Yeah, I'm not good at making points. Okay, well, I'll fill this in. Quickly. I won't make you all watch that. I'll probably just edit this bit out just as we finish off that there. Okay, so we have encountered a very minor, very major problem, in fact, that I didn't take into account that this whole thing ends up in a point. Meaning it's not only does this have to go thinner, it has to actually go down, because it goes down. Now, there's 2 ways around this, and I think I'm going to be a bit cheaty here, honestly, because I can't see how to do it the other way, because I'm just not good enough, in that I'm not going to make the entire thing go like this, it's going to be up. So, as this goes thinner, it's also going to go higher. So every time it does this, and I'll probably make this a little bit longer as well, I've decided, it's also going to decrease in height by 1 after this segment here. So let's start with that and see how we can actually do that then and make it actually look somewhat believable isn't the right word, but just make it look like it actually did do what I want it to do. Would that look okay? That's the question. So how do I make that? Oh, yeah, because then we just go with regular prisms like this. So then that now is slowly flattening itself out to go inwards. We can't do it at the same time though, so it'll have to be a bit of a... like that, and then... so then, oh god, sorry I'm going so quiet right now, but honestly I haven't... this is weird, I don't know quite how to do this, and... you see, this is why we're doing the series though, honestly, because this is how I learn. It's by trial and error, so 1, 2, 3, then it starts the process, so 1, 2, 3... starts the process, and then that has the tetra here, and then fill that in just like that, just to add the prisms. We'll fill it in completely afterwards, and then one after. So does it work after this? So we have a full block, and then the next block is the thinner, like so. I'm not sure it's going to end up looking like the Arwing, but I think it's actually going to look quite cool. So I have that at least going for me. So yay for me. So 1, 2, 3, 4 again, and that'll make it completely flat. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's a 3. Sorry. Yeah. So it's a 3. because I need that to be out. Then we add that again, and the tetra again. Do this. So we've kind of cheated a little bit there, but I think that was probably going to be the best way, just because I can't see how we could have made it go down into a point quite so much and make it look believable. Well, this actually has produced a point on the vehicle. Doesn't look exactly how I wanted it, but honestly, for me, I'm actually quite happy with that. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So the next section then will be the actual connecting piece, which will hold the two blue segments. Now the two blue segments, I was thinking we could use, oops, it was descreened, we could use for rudders, and what the rudders would provide is an extra, well, rudder. So imagine 2 rudders up, 2 rudders down. The problem is that is not the right angle, and I can't see it. I've looked for a few pictures, and I can't really see many pictures which dictate it ever looking like that. But I think if we did this, it would provide a lot more stability. So I think that's what we're going to have to go with. And then what we'll do is we'll build the spikes kind of like this over it. So in kind of just grab blue for a second. In kind of a this way pattern. So it's kind of like, you know, it goes back itself and then go around it as much as possible, so I can't see it quite so much, and that's probably what we will do. But, like I say, it doesn't seem to be connected directly onto this. There's definitely a connecting piece, and the back here, upon closer inspection, seems to go a little bit thinner. So what I'm going to do is take this back one. So we'll just do this. Grab the prisms, grab the prisms, take it back by 1, and then we will... It also seems to go up as well, so okay, so similar style to how it's gone backwards like this, we also need to go up, so 1, then we'll go up, and that'll be all we do. We're only going to go up by 1, I feel. However, that does make the back a bit too long. It seems to be like right here. Also, it seems to be like a thruster here as well, so we're going to have to put a thruster somewhere here, probably a main thruster, probably over-tiered, because it seems to be the only place where a thruster actually is in the picture, so that's something we do have to consider as well. A lot of things to consider. Yeah, this will definitely be to, or would it though? Because, you know, actually, upon closer inspection, I'm actually okay with this. Now, I don't know whether these connect or not here, because again, I can't see in the picture. I've looked at a few pictures while I was AFK, while I wasn't recording, and I can't figure out certain parts of the ship. And also certain depictions have certain aspects different to others, so I'm taking a bit of creative license and saying this is okay. And then the thruster can be nestled in here, you see, that's what I'm thinking. So if you do it like this, then we can get a thruster. Let's go with tier 8 if possible. There. That'll actually reveal my seat, but that'd be perfect. This is definitely going to need more than one thruster, though. That's the problem. I could probably... Actually, no. That's going to be okay. I can easily hide thrusters on the inside of here. So that's fine. Thrusters won't actually be too much of an issue. It's just going to be the wings. It's a shame. I think it's going to be that is going to have to be one out, and I'm not... that's fine. I mean, we can kind of like nestle it like this. Again, I don't know what the hell it looks like on the back, so I'm just going by my own imagination here. And really hoping I'm correct. Yeah, okay. So now those weird connecting pieces will be made up. Oh, heavy cubes. I'm going to make this thing heavier than it needs to be. Well, if you want it in tier 6, probably going to need to over tier some stuff I've used anyway. So I could use the dark green, then it's level 2. We could use the rare armor. The rare armor is quite a beige color and darker than some of the other blocks. Oh, why do I have this horrible feeling this thing's not going to have to fly? You see, I don't know if I'm actually going to take it out into a battle, but I at least want it to be able to actually move, and that is really, really worrying me right now. I mean, it's already worrying me, so thinking about adding these is just, I can't do it. So it seems like for a second, it looks almost circular for a second before it attaches properly. So I'm doing nothing of the sort by doing this. How about if I did it like this? And like this. Then had the armor prisms do this kind of thing. Yes, actually, yes. Okay, yeah, so then do the same on the opposite side. At least where we can, I won't be messing around with that. Okay, yeah, that's actually okay. So that's like the connecting piece. It looks like it gets... perhaps we should attach it a bit more here. And one there, and then add tetra there. Okay, yeah, okay. And then it gets thicker as well, so we're going to increase the size of it now by 1. So do that, like usual. Then we have... like this. And this is where the actual wing is, the weird purple bit's actually going to attach. It's a little bit close to the vehicle, though, actually. Now I've looked at it again. It's a bit close to the vehicle, but I'm just thinking about pflop limit and the fact that we're going to be so darn heavy. So that's kind of what I'm going to do here. Also, I'm very sorry to the person who actually asked for this. I'm probably going to butcher your dream. Well, actually, if this is your dream, you probably didn't need a better dream. Ah. Lathus had an idea. So where are they? The blades we're going to use. Let's use tier 5. Which one's the smallest? We could use tier 4 because tier 4 are going to be quite hideable. Actually, yeah, tier 4 could be hidden. Could tier 6 be hidden? Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, that could be hidden. Okay. I forgot how big we are. So we add these two here and here. Scatter. No, put them here and here. And then keep on constructing this. Best of our ability, of course. Okay, we're back, and I'm hoping that's kind of turned out. Yeah, it took a while longer than I actually wanted it to then, so I kind of just started to cut that a little bit. So now we actually get back to this. So these are quite big as well. That's the issue I'm looking at. I mean, these are huge. I mean, these are almost as big as that. So these are going to be freaking massive, and that's not something I'm particularly happy to see. Start like that, perhaps, and then... well, we want them in the middle again, so how far does this have to go down? Okay. Okay. So let's just start the descent straight away then, because that's going to be needed to go down so fast. Starting to think that perhaps we made the centre a bit too big, just because this thing is getting to being out of hand in terms of size already. Now, I'm not pleased with this particularly. But, like, it kind of looks like what we're going for. I mean, it's going to look cool regardless. If it flies or not, this very much remains to be seen. But still. So, like the other one, it kind of spikes, like almost everything else, because of, you know, the age of the ship. When it was originally designed for the old game consoles, it kind of had that lovely Atari kind of feel to it. And of course, I mean Atari just in terms of stylistic choice, not necessarily for console used. Because I know someone wanted to say something then. So how are we going to do that then? How are we going to make this one thinner? I guess in a similar way to the other one, we're going to use tetras at some point to cause a rapid decrease in its size. So something like there, then there's probably that one though. It has to be flat to do that. How about if we did this? It doesn't really smooth in, does it? That really doesn't smooth in at all. Doing this at an angle is what's making this so difficult. Oh, actually, I think it needs to be one forward, and then if this one's one forward like it's meant to be, because that's how it's meant to continue. So we need that to be there. So it looks something like this, which just looks odd. No. Perhaps I'm doing it too early as well. That's another thing. Again, sorry for my relative silence, zone threats. Really focusing on this. Design is not something I do ever. I mean, that does make it thin out, but doesn't thin out in the way I want it to. I think that may just have to be how we do it, honestly. This is how we do it, sadly. Oh, how about if we did the one before? Oh, how about if we did that one before it like this? Then have this one like that. Ah, damn it, that's the one that's gonna screw us up. Still got a screwy piece. Did that? That's not right. Did that? Then that's still not going to be connected properly. But I think that's it feels like we're so close to being able to do it, but just doesn't quite fit because of the angle. I'm sure someone knows how to do this and is screaming at me, Lathrix. You know you could just do this. Maybe what if we just did that the whole way? Yeah, what if we just did this pattern the entire way rather than using full blocks, like ever? But instead change the pattern here, so it's like it's got a bit of a delay before it starts coming down. No, I don't like that. I don't quite like that, it must be said. But yeah, if we use this pattern instead of using the obvious prism pattern, then surely that would be a little bit easier to blend in. If not overly easy, still easy in some way. Well, it's better. I think that's probably the closest we're going to get with the limited time I give myself for these builds, because I give myself an hour at most to build them, because that's the whole point. I'm trying to get better at building robots quickly. So I'm going to cut here until we do the same to the top, and perhaps any changes I make I'll just outline in a second. Well, sir and sirettes, we're back. I've faffed around, I've tried my best, I've went way over the pflop limit. We are still in tier 6, and it is actually a dogfighter. So, other than the pflop limit, I have kept my word. I have not tested this out yet. And so, this is the first practice run. This is the best I could do. Like I say, I gave myself an hour to build it. This is almost an hour's work, and we're going to see if it even flies. There are hidden thrusters in the actual body itself. Oh! It's off the ground. It's actually off the ground. I'm actually very surprised. Can we turn? We sort of can. Honestly. Can we control pitch? We can. Okay. Is it a dogfighter? Yes. Is it way too big and against almost every specification of the person who asked for it? Yes. Does it actually look like an Arwing? To me, yes, but I've been building it. What would help, I think, is yep, there's the thrusters. Okay, so what this thing needs is to have a serious look at and change as many regular cubes to prisms, tetras, and inners as possible to get a bit of weight. A bit of helium wouldn't go amiss if I had the CPU for it, and yeah, a lot of other things, honestly, like being smaller, honestly, would have helped. I think I've went far too big of this. I'll try to come back to this and try again at a later stage, and I'll probably not make a build video. I'll probably show it at the start of the video. So class this as my first attempt, but I don't want to put both attempts on one video, so I might even label this attempt 1, honestly, because this is my trial. The fact we're actually in the air baffles me. So, yeah, that's it for now. I'm sorry to Hellokittyhi for going over many limits, but this is my best attempt, my first attempt to make an AR. Like I say, I've never, other than a very few minor things like Avoc's coffee mug, I don't really do vanity builds. It's not something I strive to do, but is kind of the point of this series. Like I say, this is learning with Lathrix, so I hope you've enjoyed the video regardless, sir and sirettes. If you have, likes, favourites, shares, comments, all that good stuff helps out me, helps out the channel, and most importantly, shows that this build series is something you are interested in. Now, if you want to suggest your own build to me, make sure to post it in the comments below. I read every comment and choose the best, well, not the best, well, the most interesting to me at the end of the day, or at least when I go in to record. A lot of the time I will be doing more functional builds, but occasionally I will be going into builds like this, so any kind of build you want, suggest it. I will be getting better, and that's the point, because like episode 10 or something down the line, I want to be able to look back and go, you know what, I have got so much better than that freaking crappy Arwing I tried to build, but at least I tried back then. Go me now though, and I show off something that actually looks good. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. Likes, favourites, shares, comments, all that good stuff help out me, help out the channel, and like I say, importantly, show that this is what you're interested in. So thank you, and goodbye. Goodbye, Arwing. Good night.